internet side of things. And I'm going to share with you why it's really silly and stupid to kind of blog every single day, especially if you're just getting started. All right, so I've posted 6 main reasons why blogging daily is a waste of time, or it's really not worth your time, especially more so if you're just getting started in the internet space. Now, the first main reason is creation takes time. So here's kind of our big list, is that creation takes time. It takes time to read and watch these things that you create. People get overwhelmed. You want to create a scarcity behind what you're doing. The breadth and the pace kind of creates these expectations, and that can be a problem. So these are the things that we're going to cover. So number 1, creation takes time. So if you're creating videos every single day, it takes time to make those videos. Even if you pre-film those, that's a lot of content to make and create. And for every single piece, there's an extra thumbnail that you're making. If you're doing videos, there's, a blog post that you have to proof, create title tags, create an image. Whatever the case is, your process and procedure just takes a lot longer. Now, not only on that side from you, it takes time to read and watch these things. So if I'm your customer, well, to be honest, look at the close friends that you have. I don't want to spend time with them every single day. Yeah, I might spend time with them 3 days a week, 4 days a week, but it's not going to be 7 days a week every single day. In that case, you're becoming a deeper relationship where you might have a spouse or significant other. But as far as, somebody that's just watching your content, reading your content, they're not going to be there every single day. They may check in on you every couple of weeks, might be every couple of months, depending on their pace, because everybody's pace is different. For some people, they take a couple days to buy a car. Other people take a couple weeks, and other people take a couple months to buy and find a car. So that's the same thing. Time to read and watch takes a great deal of energy from your customer. And you're just basically, if you're putting out more and more content every single day, you're going to overwhelm them. Especially the people that are really connected to you, they may want to watch every single thing that you have. And it's like complete overload if you have, let's say, 500 videos and they're on video 20 and they want to watch every single one of your videos. And they spend weeks and weeks watching your videos. It's just overwhelming sometimes. So every single day content is not always needed. Now, the other thing that you can do is if you're only creating content once a week, once a month, it kind of creates a form of scarcity. Just like, hey, we only have 1,000 TVs to sell at this great price, so come on in early and make sure you get your Black Friday deals. That's a form of scarcity. And the same thing is if you have, let's just say 20 or 30 videos, then that information from you specifically is scarce. And that also means they may be more entitled, or they feel the desire to buy your products or services that much more because, hey, they want a little bit more of you. Whereas if there's more of you already in blogging, in video content, they may say, hey, well, he's got so much content already. In that case, I may not want to go ahead and purchase that content and material. Unless, of course, that content and materials just blows your socks off. Then they still may go out and buy that content or additional information, additional services that you have. Of course, it depends on the business model that you have. But scarcity, having less content, sometimes can pull people into more of your deeper products and services. Now, you're also creating a breadth and pace as you're creating content. So if you're creating every single day content, that's kind of the pace that you're going at. And the problem is if you get sick, if you have kids, if you want to change things, if you want to expand your business, you don't have that breadth and pace. Not only that breadth and pace for you, but the breadth and pace for the person reading and watching your content. So if you stop and your pace is different, it's very, very difficult to go back into that pace. It's always better to start with less content and increase your pace rather than too much content, and then you start creating less and less content to make space for all the other things in your life, and then you're posting less. And the people that found their pace, that, hey, they love your content, they want more and more content, then they stop watching because they say, hey, you're not really producing, even though you might be producing once a week, but you were producing 5 days a week. So anyways, that sort of creates these expectations. And when you don't fulfill people's expectations, that creates a problem. And that's why people leave. That's why people are unhappy with the product. So it's fine if you create a product that can only last a year. Let's say you create a widget that breaks within a year. It's fine if you tell them ahead of time that say, hey, this will probably only last you a year, but it's only a third of the price of any other thing that's being produced out there. So people can expect that and they can relate to that. But if they have expectations that, hey, this is how much you're producing, this is what you're creating, this is what I'm going to get, and then all of a sudden those expectations change very quickly, then that can be a form of disappointment. So always kind of hone in and match the expectations to what you're working on. That way people don't get disappointed and then leave, and that's really what happens when people dwindle and get away from kind of your content, your information, your blogging, and they stop kind of reading your newsletter. Of course, other things change. You know, they may just change in their life, their perspective, their goals, their focus, all shifts. They may have kids and they just don't have time for you anymore. But overall, if it's based on expectations, you're creating content 5 days a week. Now you're doing 1 day a week. They were expecting 5 days a week, and now you can't fulfill what you've been doing. All right, so thanks for joining me in this week's episode. I hope you found it helpful to why you really don't need to blog every single day. And those are kind of my 6 main reasons and points. Of course, there's other reasons out there. And if you want to stay up to date and continue to watch other great training videos like this one, or listen to our podcast, then be sure to get on our newsletter list by clicking the link right over here. When you get there, enter your name and email.